YouTube, are you there? I don't know what episode number this is. I haven't checked before I started. I was too busy fiddling around trying to get this little border fixed and everything. But it's pretty cool, right? It's better than knowing what number episode this is. I mean, you'll already know. You'll have seen the thumbnail, which I'm going to have to figure out at some point. But it'll happen. I'll make it. Of course I will. Anyway, after that blisteringly excellent intro, let's get into the Dwarf Fortress and see what's happening. So, we've not fully recovered from the slaughter. However, let's quickly check Dwarf Therapist before we kick off. Ooh, it's its own window now. You can see the whole thing. We'll connect and we'll see what our population level is. 32,9,0. Okay, so 32 dwarves isn't too bad. I mean, someone was saying on my Reddit thread, or was it a YouTube comment? I'm not quite sure, but someone was saying that 40 dwarves is about a sweet spot for how many you want in there, so maybe I'm doing okay. So we've got 32 dwarves. Let's start the action again. Now, if I remember correctly, this cough, there should be some corpses down here. Yes, there are. Oh, and a Crundle has reverted to its wild state. Oh, and of course, remember, we have this little chap down here, FB Killer, Zuglartam, the bookkeeper, who is currently in the middle of a mood. A big old stroppy mood. The trade depot's not there anymore. Let's stop the removal. We don't need a broker. Oh. Was that what was making him stay there? Is that what was preventing his craft a piece? Oh, let's find out. If we unpause the action, and if he moves out of there, I know him hanging around in there was just silliness. The game is only half in view. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There we go. That's better, isn't it? I don't know what happened there. Half the screen was still on Dwarf Therapist. Unpleasant, but you know, teething trouble. That's what it is. Growing pains with Dwarf Fortress and OBS Studio. Just wait till I try and run a more modern game. I say a more modern game. This is a modern game. This game is actually an advanced game. I mean, what's going on in the background is insane. When I go down to Alien Isolation, it's probably actually going to be a decrease in complexity. But never mind that. What was I trying to get him to do? I was trying to get him to come out. He's not doing it though, is he? He's just sort of hanging around in the trade depot. So why? Why don't you claim? Unless he's going to do a masterpiece trade or something. He's waiting for someone to come that he can trade with. And then when they arrive, it's going to be... and they're going to suddenly give everything they've got to us. It'd be nice. Oh, Alien Isolation. I've been looking forward to playing that for a while. The glorious Eddie Price, one of the viewers, and a fellow streamer, check his stream out, donated it to me. I think he picked it up as a double in a Humble Bundle. And yeah, he gave me the code for it, and I've got it all installed. I'm just working on a nice overlay. I thought if I'm going to introduce a new game, I mean, I might wait for the end of this fortress. I might wait for Cryptbeards to fall, and then I'll stream a bit of Alien Isolation. But then, you know, maybe what I'll do is every now and again, instead of doing a Dark Souls Friday, I'll just pop Alien Isolation in there. You know, because it feels... Dwarf Fortress feels like the linchpin of the stream right now. As ineffectual as I am at the game, and as little as happens in the game when I'm playing it, excuse me, it does seem to be the one that everyone loves most. It does seem to be the game that everyone goes, that's the one. That's the one that I'm going to watch and comment on. Okay. Enough standing here looking at the corpse stockpile filling up and this guy who's clearly not interested in just engaging in his secretive mood. Let's explore the fortress. Let's go down a few floors. The barracks, now pretty redundant. We do have some military, but that's not the focus. What have we got in here? We've got the mainly unoccupied crafting zone. Good. Then... some dormitories, some nest boxes, a food storage area, a few bedrooms, probably not actually owned by anybody, pardon me. A graveyard in dire need of expansion. I could have said grave need. Ah, puns, the missed opportunities. And here's a random storeroom I dug for no reason, not connected to the rest of the fort, and pretty much only a source of frame rate issues. That's the bottom of the pit. pop down there. Actually, if I just skip straight down to the main throne room area, I've got all those statues to place, mainly just because I needed to clear some space in the stockpiles. Because we need spikes. Ladies and gentlemen, spikes are of paramount importance to the future plans of this fortress. Ever since we've converted from a standard dwarven religious system to an apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic suicide cult, the needs of the fortress have dramatically changed. Now, I mean, we're almost entirely focused on the creation, or we should be entirely focused. I know we're not. I've pretty much failed to take my dwarves in hand and get them to do what I want them to. But we're focused on placing a long, windy tunnel filled with spike traps. Look at this. This is going to be absolute hell for the demons as they... Well, okay, maybe that's not the best metaphor. Because, of course, that's where they're coming from. And then they come up here, bleep, 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 bleep. Get out there, blah, blah, blah. Let's go further down. And here's the current level that we're digging out. Unfortunately, the massacre did do for most of my miners. So, whereas previously this was proceeding at a pretty excruciatingly slow pace, it is now basically not progressing. No, you know, maybe that's just going to change. Let's have a look at Dwarf Therapist again and figure out... Oh my goodness, that's not right. That's better. Let's figure out how the mining situation is. Let's read the dwarves quickly and make sure that that is not the only miner we have. Well, it's not the only person set to mine. However, the proficient one is the best. Everyone else has 0 experience. Do they even have picks? That would be interesting to find out. But I don't think they do. I did buy a load, didn't I, just from the traders that came. Okay, watching this... There's only one thing worse than just being hypnotised by watching miners, and that's watching flashing squares where miners may or may not appear in the near future. So we don't want to be hypnotised by that. Excuse me. Oh yes, you said there were dwarfs in the hospital. That is correct. Let's pop down there. I was looking at that, mistakenly thinking that was actually a... What did I think that was? A dormitory, that was it. And in fact it's the hospital with a number of dwarves doubling up in their beds. Because presumably dwarves just prefer to pretend they're in some kind of crowded medical service when in fact there are beds galore for free. But oh well. What do they need? We have a chief medical dwarf. Maybe I should put medicing as his sole priority. How's our diagnosis? Diagnosis, feeble. Surgery, non-existent. Setting bones, nope. Suturing, can't do it. Dressing wounds, unlikely. Feed patients prisoners, not something you really get skilled at. And recovering wounded, nope. Okay, so although we do have a chief medical dwarf, it appears he's not actually that medically inclined. So, troublesome. Yeah, I've got to remember, every time I switch out a Dwarf Therapist, I have to remember to then shut it down. Because the windows conflict with each other. It's poopy, but it's just the way things are for now. There we go. I'll keep checking over at the preview window so I can see it. Okay, not much happening. I think a lot of these dwarves in the hospital with issues are kind of pivotal. They're people who have skills that are required for things to get done. They're bottlenecking the production. I don't know how this represents a bottleneck. This kind of probably more accurately represents meshing, or, you know, synchronicity, synergy, things working together. Whoa, look at those gears turn. Ooh. Not in any way bottlenecking, but okay. But that looks like a weird thing to do. There's a bottleneck right there. An imaginary bottleneck. Excuse me. Okay, let's have a look around, see what we can find. Oh, there's somebody prattling around down here. What was the purpose of you bringing a turkey leg, or what appeared to be a turkey leg, down here? Maybe they just don't like their new dining room. Maybe the engravings remind them of the Fallen. Doubt it, though. Or maybe they're all heading down here to dine at the secondary dining zone, which is meant to be for miners. No, apparently not, though. They're not there. Oh, here he is. He is coming down here to eat. Who are you? Reveal yourself. Rovod Dussimled. Woodcrafter. Where is he? Rovod Dussimled. What are you up to? Rovod Workracks, translates. No, he's not actually taking the food to eat. He's storing it in a stockpile. He's a woodcrafter with 2 levels of woodcrafting. Oh my. What a pro. Meh. Meh. Oh, he's vanished anyway. Excuse me. Oh, hello. They're bringing down the spike bits for the traps, I think, by the look of it. At least I think that's what I see there. Cogs and whatnot. Installing the spikes and thingamajigs, doodahs. Oh, now if I'm right, he's going to stop somewhere along here. Is that what you're doing? My enigmatic dwarven friend? Looks like it. He's deposited his cog, and now he's heading back. Has the miner hit the face yet? Yes, the miner is mining. Oh, look at that. He's opened up some surface now. Now we can get multiple miners down here. And wend our way back to that spire of adamantine for valuable blue nuggets and wafers and threads. But watching him is probably not going to be that productive. Let's head back to the surface. Still only 19 frames per second. Shockingly low figures. I'm going to have to figure that out before we do the next fortress. Although I think the answer to my question, why do I have low frames, will be, buy a new computer, which I am not about to do. Not everybody is dead, Blue Satin Live, but you are. Sorry. Let's have a look in Therapist, just so you can have a little handle on the situation. Let's sort by nicknames. Of all the people we nicknamed, there are currently 5 survivors, and I think one of those was added last time when someone asked to be added. I think it was Ephemeral Kappa here. Ephemeral Cap. So yeah, the carnage was brutal. We had a Forgotten Beast turn up, which was made of mud, which apparently, a cube of mud, very difficult to fight. It was crushing dwarves left, right and centre. It wasn't doing any ripping or rending. It was mainly squishing and squashing, generally speaking. Bones were cracking, pressure was applied, and dwarves were flattened. Decisively flattened. But, oh well, we had a few survivors, around 25, 30, something like that. And we got another migrant wave after they come. Unfortunately for them, we had just decided to become a post-apocalyptic suicide cult, but oh well. Could be worse. I mean, not for them. They've obviously made a terrible mistake moving here, but nothing I can do about it. Well, I mean, obviously there is something I could do about it, but I'm not going to do it. Let's put another corpse stockpile down, because we don't have enough graves to put them in. P. And corpses is Y. So we'll expand out the corpsey storage zone. Excuse me. And hopefully we'll have some more haulers rushing down into the caves in order to grasp their fallen friends and drag them off to storage. What we shall call intermediate burial. Basic burial is just piling rocks on top of them where they fell. Intermediate burial is dragging them into a stockpile here, and then final resting place should be ideally somewhere like this, except we don't have the miners for the expansion, and in fact even if we did, I'm pretty sure we don't have any coffins to put people in. Nope, no coffins. So we're still sort of resorting to stacking the dead. Mind you, if we leave them up there long enough, there won't be that much to bury. We'll be able to sort of like just tip them into a box and bury them. All the bones will nicely squish up. Did you know, interesting fact, slightly morbid, but interesting nonetheless. Oh yeah, no sound sense. I've just noticed that. But slightly more, in fact, when you get people back from a crematorium, that's that dust is not actually ash. That's ground up bones, the stuff that didn't burn. The more you know. Isn't that exciting? Let's get sound sense turned back on, because we've been playing in silence for too long. Let's get some higher. There we go. If that gets a bit too loud, do tell me, and I'll ease the volume down again. Oh, I see a new name in chat. Hello, Hubertus. Excuse me, I shouldn't have done that quite so close to the mic, should I? That was rude of me. Uh-oh, that didn't sound good. Mechanic cancels construct traction bench. I did try and get a traction bench built before, but needs table. We don't have any tables. Surely we have tables. I mean, of all the things we could have, but there's a table right there. He points with his finger when he should use the mouse. Here's a table. What do you mean no tables? Maybe he needs more than one. Well, there's 3 tables in this stockpile. Who is this? Who is this idiot who can't find tables in the fortress? Zoom to him. There he is. Oh, thank you for the follow. Who is that? Seetherton. Seetherton? Seetherton. Seetherton. Stick with that for now. Is the music rather loud? Is that what Blue Satin Live is saying there? Let's just ease it down a shade. Pardon me. That was quite uncalled for. Where was I? Got distracted by chat for a second. Oh yes, this guy who can't build traction benches because he doesn't have enough tables. What are you talking about, you fool? And why did he decide he couldn't find benches or tables here on this square of stair? Why? Why? It's going through your crazy dwarven mind. The music was alright. Okay, I'm going to ease it back up again. Here we go. There we go. Oh, Panzer Business, it's too loud. It's going down again. 2 notches to 50. How can anybody argue with the median setting? Nobody can. And I shall leave it as it is. Ah, the weather. I see. Unfortunately, I have one volume slider that controls sound sense overall. So we're going to have to figure something out there. Thunder and lightning. Anecdotally, very, very frightening. Okay. Let's need to refocus on the window, otherwise my presses on the keyboard will be utterly futile. Mind you, is anything in Dwarf Fortress other than futile? I mean, we really genuinely are heading towards just an ending. Once it's ended, it's over. Mind you, I don't think that's the definition of futility, is it? Doing something that finishes. Otherwise, pooping would be futile. And as we all know, pooping is vital to the continued existence of the human corpus. Do not consider pooping futile. Pooping is very much a productive pastime. Pastime? It's not a pastime. It's not something you do to kill time. It's something you do. You have to do it. How have I started talking about pooping? I suppose it's better than talking about personal edit switch tripped. Let's just stop there for a second and reboot. Has anything bad happened to the fort yet? Oh my goodness. See that we've had many forgotten beasts, all of which were dispatched, well, all but one of which were dispatched with just good old-fashioned punching. But unfortunately, the most recent one, being a mud cube, was apparently immune to fists, which is a new one on me. I didn't realise mud cubes were immune to fists, but there you go. Okay. We lost a lot of dwarves. We went from 70-something, I think, to 20-something. It's good. Oh, and here are most of the corpses from that encounter. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Well, it's not beautiful. It's terrible. We still haven't dealt... Excuse me. Heavens above. That one made my nose fizz. Anyway, where were we? Yes, as you can see, we have an abundance of lamb and goat, I suppose, which has led to an abundance of cheese and wool. But other than that, mainly I think they've been impacting my frame rate negatively. Ooh, look, the frame rate's hit 24%. 24. Very exciting stuff. I mean, come on. We're nearly at console frame rates here. Boo. Platform wars? No. Mike could use a notch up. Probably better to lower the music a little. Yeah, it's probably safer. It's a safer bet. Or maybe I could just lean in like this because the microphone's right here. How does that sound? Does it get better and better as I get closer? Ooh. Hot diggity dog, we've got to sort this cough out sometime soon. I was thinking about taking some of those cold and flu tablets because they've got the phenylephrine that stops the nose going and the cough, but they've also got paracetamol in, which I don't need. I'm not in pain, I've just got a bunged up nose. What do I do? Play the game leaned in against my mic. That's awkward. It's going to do my back in for sure. Here we go. Get myself squared on the webcam. I mean, I could commit absolute heresy and move the microphone a bit closer, but you're going to hear the noise as I drag it across the table. Well, I could mute it. Bear with me one moment. I'm going to drag it closer. There we go, how do you like that? It obscures about a third of my face, but it's there. Ooh. There you go. Is that better? Do I sound lovely? Not breathing helps the cough. Okay. It's a fairly big microphone, yeah. It's a blue snowball. Okay, so enough fannying around with all the accoutrements of streaming. Let's pop in. It's the blue snowball ice. It's the one that doesn't have the switch to switch between the different shapes of doodahs. It's quite nice the way my moustache just rests on top of it though when I look into the microphone. And it would also hide any lip syncing issues. Now there's something I could learn from. I could use my compressor and my all my wonderful sound effects. They're not sound effects. What am I talking about? Sound filters. That's what I'm talking about. And all the lip sync going out wouldn't matter because all you'd see is my moustache going up and down. I say. Sorry. Off in a reverie there for a second. Okay. Enough. I've not actually designated anything, have I? All I've done is look around the fort waiting for something to happen. And what has happened? Precisely nothing. There has been a zero effect. I'm doing it even more. I've just realised I'm doing it again. I've just commented on the fact that I was doing something while doing it. Terrible. Although I don't really have the dwarves. We've got no idlers. So anything I designate is not going to happen. Until though... Oh, we've got an idler. But what's he doing? Why is he idling? He's stopped idling. There's just too many jobs designated. If I just quickly bowl down here. Yeah, look. It's going to take forever to dig anything out. Unless... excuse me. Unless we end up with a migrant wave coming that has a miner in it or two. That would be nice. Nighty-night, Hubert. Thank you for watching. Hubertus, indeed. Thank you very much for watching. And sleep tight. Oh man, now I'm trying to work out where he is based on the time zone. It's nearly midnight, so it's 20 past 10, 11, 12, so it's about 2 hours ahead. Somewhere middle Europe, I think. I assume, I guess. Who knows? Okay, so not much mining taking place still. Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress, what have you become? You've become just a game of waiting. Oh, we're getting 1 or 2 idlers at a time now. It's one of those things when you see like a time difference, you sit there thinking, where is that? Where could it be? 11:15 in Germany, so he's further west, further east than Germany. Because like 11:15 is not almost midnight. Almost midnight's got to be at least 11:30. So a little bit further east than Germany. That's true. Huber has a certain German ring to it. Well, I'm sure we'll find out someday. He's laying in bed with his ears burning, thinking, or her, I don't know, we didn't inquire about gender. They're laying in bed with their ears burning, thinking, somebody's talking about me. Who is waffling? Oh, they've retrieved all the corpses, but they haven't retrieved all the stuff. All the blood and effluvial-soaked stuff. Not even our special artifact spear. That's disappointing. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Lots of blood, vomit, cave moss, and an adamantine battle axe. Why you leave there? All this cool stuff could be anybody's. All they've got to do is come down and pick it up. Dead people can't own shit. It's the law. Where would we be if dead people could own stuff? Jesus. Imagine how high property prices would be. The middle classes would be squeezed. Squeezed by the dead. The cold, dead fingers of the dead. Of the dead fingers of the dead? Tautology. There is one thing to say for having a cough. It does make your voice go a little bit deeper.
Winter is here. Oh,
winter's upon us. Oh, and it's starting with a good old tune. Let's up the volume on this one. I do love it. Polish, that's true. And Polish is a little further east, isn't it? I think. Or am I wrong? Seems like the right kind of name. I suppose that could have been the cause of the fall of the Egyptian civilization, of the ancient Egyptian civilization. The fact that the dead ended up owning everything and nobody could even eat. Because they all had so much money and such excellent financial management, lawyers, bankers, whatnot. They ended up owning all the grain. I don't think that's actually historically accurate. Please, if you're doing anything in the realm of historic academia, do correct me. I mean, never take me as a source of factual information, except when I give out facts. Good evening, Base on Mars. Howdy doody. This has possibly been the least eventful Cryptbeards so far, because I'm just waiting for my absolutely slaughtered population to catch up on the slack of all the jobs I've designated. The butcher's working apace. He's taking his time to get each individual one down there, but he's not taking any breaks. Maybe I should move the butcher's shop closer to the sheep. That would probably speed things up a shade. Although, will that cause some kind of outbreak of panic? Does it really matter? They're all walled in. I mean, of course, in terms of animal welfare, it should matter. We shouldn't be sitting here thinking, let's taste the fear in our lamb. But then they are digital lambs, so it doesn't really matter. Not to me, at least. I see. It's a very hacky workaround based on Mars. I've got you opening a window, and I'm capturing that window rather than feeding the camera directly in. So it's not ideal, but it works. That's true. Mind you, that long ago, pretty much everywhere was harsh. There was no real sort of, hey, this is a really cool, easy place to live. I mean, they didn't have antibiotics, for God's sake. Absolutely dreadful. I heard that someone saying that as a test for time travel. Like, would you go before the invention of penicillin and antibiotics? I don't think so. It would be a bad idea. I'm not sure I'd want to go before the invention of electricity. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be going back much further than 2011. That's not true. I want to see dinosaurs. Who wouldn't want to see dinosaurs? Why am I talking about time travel? Oh, Egypt, that was it. Oh yeah, let's not go back before the invention of Wi-Fi. Whew. I still remember 90s internet. GeoCities. Angel Fire, was that something? I think so. GeoCities and Angel Fire, the hosting services. It wasn't. It was Angel something, wasn't it? How's my military looking? Well, CW5 Brosidon. It's looking pretty weak. Pretty poor. It may look a little bit strong because I've got lots and lots of squads, but as you can see, they have 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 1 members, respectively. The only one that's actually a serious military at the moment is the Banded Swords, and they're set to train because they've got the only person in the fortress with any kind of martial prowess whatsoever. It does sound familiar. I don't think so. I thought all the music in SoundSense was made for SoundSense. I hope it's not Harry Potter because I'm going to get slapped with a blooming cease and desist on YouTube and have to have a whole video that I can't post. Well, I can. Kevin MacLeod. Mr. Ubiquity. His music is literally everywhere. Although best used in the Harmontown podcast. I think if you enjoy a little bit of levity and the music of Kevin MacLeod, look it up. It's good. It's really funny. Good evening, Rushok and Verdant Magic. I've still managed to do nothing. The fortress is just ticking along, trying to catch up with the commands I've given, and I daren't issue any more in case it brings everything to a grinding halt. The mason's not even working in his room. I was pretty sure I set him to make coffins. Yeah, there's the order. Oh yeah, we need to empty the workshops and the storage zones. Then he can build coffins to fill that, which I can then put into the graveyard. But while we consider that, we also have to empty the workshops and the stockpiles first by placing all these statues, and that doesn't seem to be happening. We've had a few placed. Oh, no, they are doing it. Oh, a giant bat has reverted to a wild state. I have no trainers to train you. You're going to have to stay wild. I mean, really, I think giant bats are meant to be wild. Probably shouldn't be cooped up in some kind of dwarven flying creature nightmare version of SeaWorld. Although that does sound pretty interesting now that I've said it. Well, I'm pretty sure you can't capture whales in Dwarf Fortress yet. They exist, they're a thing, but you can't capture them. Mainly due to the pretty strictly non-aquatic nature of dwarves. They don't like getting too wet. There we go, that's what I was looking for. Let's go down and see if the miners have made any progress. No, none whatsoever since we last looked. Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, the frames per second is pretty poor. How do I get them to prioritise that? I mean, I've turned off all their other skills. miners aren't allowed to do anything but mine. But mine. Which they're not even doing that. Even the guy I set to make... what did I set him to make in the magma forge? Oh wait, I wanted to place a glass forge. Needs any metal smithing. I've got a metal smither. Metal smither? A metal smith, excuse me. Pardon me. Mind you, those have been some pretty splendid burps this evening. Well, tomorrow. I'll down a can and I'll burp for her delight. Oh yeah, but she's fast asleep tonight, so don't worry about her. Well, I say that, she's fast asleep now. So let's keep our fingers crossed that she stays that way so she doesn't interrupt the stream again with her unnecessarily cute ways. She's too cute. Keep carrying on like that, there'll be a cute apocalypse. Cute again. Kawaii! I really haven't done anything. I mean, I've said it 4 or 5 times now. But I've literally just going backwards and forwards. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, Cryptbeards, we were bottoming out around 8 frames a second at one point. So having acquired 9 more frames a second is really quite luxurious. Things are happening at a way faster pace than I'm used to. I just can't cope. Maybe I should just explore. The trouble is, every time I explore and try to read stuff, it pauses the game. And I want things to continue so things actually happen. Oh, what was that? There's a giant toad forgetting its training. What a disaster. I need those giant toads to remember their training. I invested in those toads. My business is an investor in toads. We've got a certificate and everything. Never understood that investor in people certification scheme we've got here in the UK. You see it on the wall of all sorts of places where you don't particularly would want to work. They're like, hey, we invest in people. And the one thing I can think of when I see that is, does that not describe slavery pretty well? I mean, slaves are an investment. Obviously, I'm not saying that working is slavery, although it is. But I don't know where I'm going with this one. I've just gone off on a wide tangent. There's a guitar in my ear has completely distracted me. Excuse me. I have to do something. At least he's digging out the graveyard. That's the main thing. So there will be somewhere for the graves to go when we've got them. How long are these people going to be in the hospital for as well? Either pop your clogs or get healed. I mean, I know that's not great medical advice, but one or the other. You can't just linger. Well, yes, you can linger. I'm not going to kill you. That's only out of apathy, though. I can't be bothered. It's not for any kind of moral repulsion at the idea of killing you.
Start craving mad. Yep, there goes the pants.
Yup.
And the shirts. Oh, not the skivvies. Oh, the socks. Oh,
okay.
Oh, lock that poor dwarf up. Oh.
He's lost his mind because we didn't have something that he required. The workshop he required. So let's call on the military. Squads. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Everybody in the fortress, just pile on, kill this sap. We don't need him anymore. He's only going to cause trouble. Okay. Kill creature and cursor. It doesn't work. They won't attack him for some reason. Let's select from list. What have we got? Cave fish woman spearman, cave fish man, cave fish woman, blah blah blah, crundle, ghostly weaver, troglodyte child, wren people, giant bats, troglodytes, giant owl, magma crab, giant toad. You cannot send the military against your own dwarves by conventional means, even when they're going nuts and killing people. Well, to be fair, he hasn't killed anybody yet. Has he gone into a proper mentalist rage, or is he merely succumbing to depression? Let's have a look. Well, he's running around babbling. Doesn't sound like he's depressed. Let's take a quick look. Who was he? FB Killer. Oh, he's got a handy nickname. There he is. Let's have a little look at his mental state. See how he's doing. Reg FB Killer Ship Speakers. Cased Dwarf. Age 126 years old. Size 66,120 cubic centimeters. Profession milker. Noble position bookkeeper. Happiness 5, equaling a stress of 43.2k. Within the last season, he felt nothing after witnessing death 6 times. Disgust while forced to drink vomit. Annoyed after drinking water without a well. Horrified after witnessing death 15 times. Dejection when caught in the rain. Satisfied at work. Grief at somebody's death twice. Disgust after retching on miasma. Contentment after eating a pretty decent meal. Annoyed with sleeping in the dirt. Nothing while in conflict. Afraid after experiencing trauma. Restless after being able to rest and recuperate. Gratitude after being rescued. And shock at the unexpected death of somebody. What a shame. His highest moodable skill is Tanner. His personality is thus. Often feels envious of others. Often feels discouraged. More likely to slip into depression and be stricken by melancholy. Has a greedy streak. Is somewhat quarrelsome. Could be considered rude. Has little time for forgiveness and will generally seek retribution. Thinks they're fairly important in the grand scheme of things. Is quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. Tends not to be swayed by emotional appeals. Is trusting. Lives a fast-paced life. Prefers a noisy, bustling life to boring days without activity. Doesn't care about art. Dreams of raising a family. Well, none of that is going to happen for you, sir, now that you've lost your mind. Unfortunately, the mental health services of Cryptbeards are stretched to breaking point, and indeed, if I'm honest, they never existed in the first place. So, get ready for an ignominious end. Off he goes. He's running up to the butcher's shop. What wonders will he reap there? No, he's changed his mind. He's ripped all his clothes off. Look at the pile of clothes he's left. He ran a bit further to leave his alpaca wool gloves there, but okay. Oh, he's running around in the vomit pile. Not sure what's happening there. He's not actually fighting anybody, that's okay. Let's follow him and see what he does. Oh, there he is. F. Holy mackerel, we got 32 frames a second, people. Be careful, because you might get sucked into a time dilation if it gets any faster. Maybe he's just going to become like a babbling loon that wanders around the fortress. Not actually fighting anybody, not actually killing himself, just going around. That's my impression of a dwarf babbling. Good evening, animatronic. Now there's some emotes right there. You can just wall off dwarves in a strange mood, but he didn't go into a strange mood while in a workshop. For some reason he decided to do it in the trade depot, which was annoying. And also, I didn't remember to log him off, wall him up. I just let him go nuts, and now he's out and about, doing whatever it is crazy dwarves do. Well, he's heading down into the lower communal zone. Is he going to go to the... He's butt naked in the dining room. Probably putting his dick in people's soup right now. No, he's just sitting there. I see what he's doing. He's going down the stool lines. He's being very abstract. He's putting skid marks on all the stools. And then going, it is a stool with a stool. Possibly, I don't know. I'm not a conceptual artist, damn it. He's not doing anything, he's just wandering around with his clothes off. I mean, maybe he could even raise the mood of the fortress. People being amused by his jesterly antics. Possibly. But maybe not. Maybe they're horrified by his exposed genitals. It's always possible. I'm not sure how most dwarves feel about that. There appears to be a child following him. Uh-oh. Let's hope he's not having some kind of Pied Piper effect. Could be, who knows. Maybe he's playing a tune on his whistle and leading the children away from the fortress. In normal, ordinary human circumstances, this would be disastrous. But cleansing the fortress of all children could be beneficial. We never know. Dwarf Fortress makes you feel like a real bastard. Or think like a real bastard. I don't feel like a bastard. I think he may... Oh, he's picking his clothes up. No, he's not. Nope. He's just checking out, making sure they're still there. Nobody's stolen my clothes. Ah! Where's he going now? Just wandering around. Someone will find his thirsty, thirsty corpse sooner or later. Maybe I should ignore him. If he's not punching people, he's not that interesting. Oh, he's off into the woods. Or at least outside of the fortress. Maybe not the woods. That sounds like something a dwarf might say, animatronic. Or at least think. I am unmoved. Although when you say they're moved, I imagine being moved by dwarven genitalia. They just see like a pair of nuts there and they go, oh, beautiful. And like a single tear down their cheek. Who knows? Maybe dwarven genitalia are beautiful. Maybe they appear like Art Deco sculptures from beneath their beards. Oh, then again, maybe not. Maybe they're gnarled, mace-like, knobbly things. Like a tapir. Yes, I went to a zoo once. Oh, no, it wasn't a zoo, it was a safari park. It was somewhere. Maybe it was Whipsnade. I don't know. But there was a tapir dragging its dong along the floor. It looked like a medieval torture implement. Covered in gravel as well. That was the worst part. It's picking up all the dry gravel off the floor. I was thinking, what is wrong with you? Go stand on a rock or something until you calm down. Get that thing off the floor. That's going to cause havoc when it goes back in. But oh well. Who am I to criticise the genital hygiene of tapirs? Nobody, that's who. Well, he does seem to be quite aimless. Just going backwards and forwards. Come on, man, you're hogging up frames. He's rolling around in the vomit pile, that's what he's doing. That seems suitably insane behaviour. Because I like to think that dwarves don't get modern mental health issues. Dwarves get like old-fashioned 1920s and 17th century proper psychiatric maladies. The kind of thing where they're like, whoa, you seem a little bit upset. Maybe the best treatment for that is sticking a spike right in here through your eye. You know, the way they used to do it, the old-fashioned way. Although in the 17th century you're probably more likely to be burned at the stake or dunked for having mental health issues. Excuse me. He's off. He's heading out. He's making a break for it. He's leaving the fortress. He's heading into the woods to hide behind some bushes. No, he's changed his mind. He's heard me musing on his potential destination, and now all he wants to do is head for the wall. That's it. Go for the wall. Go for the wall. Touch your bare dwarven body against the wall, and then recoil from the cold bricks and run back to Mummy in the fortress. Assuming your mother is actually in the fortress, and if she ever was, there's a pretty high statistical chance that she's dead. He's in. He's back inside the compound again. What's he up to? He's literally just running around. I always thought that a tantruming dwarf was an issue because they started fighting people and going all crazy, but he seems rather benign. Oh, is he going back down? He is going back down, yep. He's going the long way. I think he's going to the dining room again. Let's stop following him. Let's check up on the miners. Let's see if they've actually made any progress. Hello? Hello? I can't stop following him. Damn! There we go. Have the mines been expanded? They have not. Boo. Boo! Goodness, I think this is going to take an award as far as I'm concerned for being the least eventful Dwarf Fortress in terms of what I'm doing. I mean, things are going on. Sure, the fortress has its hustle and bustle, although small letter hustle, small letter bustle, small letter, non-capital. Is there a special word for non-capital letters, or is it just letters? Oh, anyway. Small hustle, small bustle. In fact, really, we're not talking about hustle and bustle here. We're talking more about post-trauma survival. Pretty much almost post-apocalyptic setting. I say almost, it's an actual post-apocalyptic setting. We have an apocalyptic population loss. Taking statues down. Okay, I will allow it. Statuary is allowed. Oh my goodness. Lowercase! That's the word. Minuscule and majuscule. I like those. I like those words. I like them a lot. I'm going to have to try and shoehorn them into conversation tomorrow at work. But we've lost track of the guy now, so we don't know where he is for his eventual corpse discovery. He's playing some kind of ultimate version of hide and seek. Oh dear. This uneventfulness almost makes me want to breach the adamantine now and be done with it. But Cryptbeards has such a cool name. How could we possibly abandon it so easily? This doesn't seem right. It shouldn't be allowed. I shouldn't even be able to speak these heresies. I should be tried for treason. Treason against Cryptbeards. Ah, boy, oh boy. Something happened. No, not anything. Let's just specify there. No forgotten beasts, please. Oh, you can designate specific images on engravings. Well, that sounds splendid. Let's check out some of those statues that have been placed. What's this red one? A bauxite statue. A bauxite statue of dwarves. This is a superior quality bauxite statue of dwarves. The item is a superiorly designed image of dwarves in bauxite by strange things it owns him. The dwarves are labouring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Cryptbeards by the abyssal shields of the mythical key in the early spring of 250. Beautiful. What have we got here? What about this lovely blue number we've got on the end? An adamantine statue of Ushat Blockade Channel. This one's got to be pretty expensive, right? It's got to be valuable. Valuable. This is a superior quality adamantine statue of Ushat Blockade Channel. The item is a superiorly designed image of Ushat Blockade Channel, the Dwarf, and Nergeth Wind Nature, the Mountain Titan, in adamantine by Forged Metal 96. What's that good? Nogreth Wind Nature is striking down Ushat Blockade Channeled. The artwork relates to the killing of the dwarf Ushat Blockade Channeled by the Mountain Titan Nogreth Wind Nature in the Mountain of Rhythm in 94. We've read this before, I'm pretty sure. There's been a number of statues in the fortress have been created in the honour of that effect. Trist Ochre Curls, Statue of Dwarves, Lorbum Goodrings, Lakesweb the Abyssal Witch, Sutu Dream Seized. Schist statue of Professor Australia Saberheeled. Let's have a look at someone named in chat. Let's have a little peek and see what this statue looks like. This is an exceptional schist statue of Professor Australia Saberheeled. The item is an exceptionally designed image of Professor Australia Saberheeled, the dwarf, and a plumwood bin in schist by Strange Things Ittensen. Professor Australia Saberheeled is raising the plumwood bin. The artwork relates to the masterful plumwood bin created by the dwarf Professor Australia Saberheeled for the Abyssal Shields at Cryptbeards in the late winter of 254. Nice. Fortress symbol, eh? Have to think about that. Of course, Cryptbeards, I think it would have to be a tombstone with a beard growing out of the bottom. That makes sense, right? I think so. That's my first thought on the branding of Cryptbeards. Crypt branding. So slow. Nothing is happening at all, is it? They're just placing those statues. Mind you, now they've placed quite a few of them. Let's have a look at the storage areas. Huh. I'm still not seeing a particularly large amount of open space here. I am, however, still seeing a lot of tables, which is annoying me. Putting a bed in there. Is my carpenter making beds? Oh, God, I hope he's not. Where is the carpenter? No, he's making menacing wooden spikes, as he should be. What's going on there? Why did someone dump a bed down here? Is there some secondary god figure who is also issuing commands to the fortress in my stead? I hope not. Very upsetting. I need to place some other stuff as well. I mean, too many beds, too many mechanisms, too many bins, lots and lots of tables. No coffins. That's what we need. Coffins, says the man who's coughing. Ha ha ha. Oh, I see what's happened. They've taken everything out of the workshop. They've been backed up in the workshop for ages, and now that they're being placed all over the shop, they're getting drawn out. Okay, okay. Pocket bed, nice. Sounds like an item I could get behind, or at least lay on. Oh, my nose is really filling up now. I apologise if this gets a little bit rough towards the end.
I shall try to think of something else.
The mayor has ended a mandate. Really, I should have ended the mayor a long time ago. I mean, the mayor I originally promised to end had died so long ago now. Or did he? Did he die recently? I don't even know. Maybe next time I'll get my dream of having the elves trade animals and me training them up and having all sorts of exotic war beasts. Certainly not going to happen on this fortress, though. 26 frames per second, not the highest we've had tonight, but certainly getting there. I think culling the herd of sheep appears to have actually done quite a bit. Because we have killed a few. And even though the butcher's not butching right now, he'll get butchy later on. We'll get more frames reclaimed from our woolly brethren. Not that there are brothers. If your brother is a sheep, your parents are either lying to you or masterful geneticists. Our mine has nearly cleared out the graveyard. Now we just need some graves to put in there. I could probably place some slabs as well. I've got some memorial slabs that can be laid down. Has given up for now. He's off for some food. Right, How's the mining down here going on? I know it's not going on because the miner's been digging out the graveyard upstairs. Hiccups and a cough? For real? Come on! What's happening here? The gods of Twitch have smote me. They've said, no, you should not be streaming. Cease and desist. Well, I defy you, gods of Twitch. I shake my fist at thee. Grrr. Grrr. As you can see, that was my most advanced medical practice. That's what I always do if I feel ill. And so far, it has been very unsuccessful. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to start using conventional Western medicine sometime soon. Okay, let's check out the vampire den, because obviously no more vampire. Anything going on in here at all? Not a sausage. Nothing apart from some discarded clothing. Was it discarded in a fit of lust, a fit of madness, or is it the remnants of a corpse? Who knows? Who honestly cares? If you hiccup, sneeze, and cough at the same time, you're guaranteed to shit yourself. Frames per second. Maybe we'll just have to we'll sign this particular stream off to just culling the sheep and getting the frame rate back and recovering from the apocalypse. Mind you, we did that with the last one as well. Mind you, I designated some stuff in the last one which didn't help with the recovery. We're getting there though. Starting to get there. Maybe one day we could even dream of 50 frames per second. Oh wait, what am I doing? Dreaming too big. I need to crimp my dreams, clip them, take bits away. That would certainly be suboptimal. Collapsed lungs. I'm going to need to blow my nose soon. A quick cheeky check of the camera tells me that my nasal issues are not visible yet. But I don't think we're that far off it becoming an issue. So far, you've only really had audio problems arising from my nasal misfortune, but imminently we could be seeing drips. Have I been streaming for over an hour? I have done over an hour, so it's nearly 11 o'clock. I might call time on this one soon, and in a potential act of heresy, I may leave the fortress running unattended for a bit and unstreamed, just to let some of these things happen, because otherwise it's going to be stream after stream of just me making random noises and not really affecting anything in the game. But maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, this isn't blood. This is the leaves from my ginkgo trees. This is a fall of beautiful Japanese blossom. Although, you know, functionally, aesthetically, indistinguishable from blood. So, great. That's a good point. I should do a quick save right now, actually, while we think about it. Now that someone's brought it up. Wise words from a wisdom man. Wisdom man? Spellcasting. QUICKSAVE. Quick save. There we go. The game should save state now. Yeah, what I'll do is at some point between now and next Monday, I'll give Cryptbeards a few hours to run to itself to see if it can get some stuff done. If anything happens, of course, if a forgotten beast turns up or we end up with issues, I'll stop and we'll save it for the stream. Yes. And also, I need opinions on how I should schedule Alien Isolation into the mix, because I can't really add an extra day to stream, so it means either temporarily or alternatingly replacing Cryptbeards or Dark Souls. So, you know, opinions would be appreciated on the subreddit or on my YouTube video comments or however you feel fit to communicate. Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Oh, bah! An animal has grown to become a stray ram. Beautiful. Yep, I think I am going to call it a day. Sorry for the relatively short Cryptbeards today, but obviously I'm still not over this cold, and Cryptbeards is obviously still not over this forgotten beast. So although I'm not going to leave it running now, at some point over the week I will attempt to give Cryptbeards some time to do its business. Although 25 frames per second is blazingly fast. Maybe we could take a vote on it. We'll see what happens. I probably won't start playing Alien Isolation this weekend, or this Friday. But at some point we'll see what happens. Let's quickly kill the fortress. For those of you who are not going to hang around for a few minutes after the fortress closes, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. And to the YouTubers who I'm now going to sign off from, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure again. It's been a double pleasure for the people watching live and the people who watch the recording. Like and subscribe and all that crazy guff. And also find my other social media stuff. It's there. You'll find it. If you search for _scoundrel_m on Google, pretty much only me comes up for the first few results because I've got a really unwieldy name. It's brilliant, isn't it? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.